Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Live from the Works and to Streaming Wednesdays. Who have we got in the chat room? Dalek Empress Vamdra is here. Greetings. The DTS Workshops is here. Hello to you. Justin Roig joins us. Hello. Jack Rumsey Central Railway is here. Hello to you. And the Celestial Toy Maker is here too. Hello to all of you. If I haven't read your name out, it's because you haven't said anything. So please do say hello. Yes, right. What have we got going on today? Well, no, it's going to be a bit of a weird one because I'm in kind of a weird place this week. I've got a lot going on. I'm supposed to be revising this because I've got my signallers exam coming up on Sunday. So of course I'm procrastinating. I've sold a model train recently. We'll get to that in a minute. So I've got to wrap that ready for posting. Yeah, I've got a new computer. I'll show that off in a second. Hold on a sec. In fact, have I got one? Let me just check. That's the right one. There we go. If I bring the close-up camera over here, this is the new computer. It's very shiny. That's the old one down there. That's the new one. I'm in the process currently of copying all my old files over to it. So they're both running at the same time. Yeah. This is going to have more hard drive space. It's got more memory. Everything's just going to be a little bit smoother with this machine. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Very very happy. So yes, that's the biggest change that's going on at the moment. You're not in a strange place, Matthew. You're in the same place as always. Yes, a strange place. That's my whole thing. What else? The question box thing from Ask Good Alex back. Yes, I've stuck an Ask Me Anything box up there. So if you want to ask me any questions during the stream, I'll refer to that and answer them. I will be looking in at the chat room as well, but it's just so I can make sure I've answered your questions and I don't miss anything. So if you have a question, stick it up there or over there. I'm not quite sure where it is in the browser, but stick it in the Ask Me Anything box. If you're watching on the phone, it'll be down there somewhere or over that side. I don't know. It depends how you're watching it. Anyway, stick your questions in there, and I'll do my best to answer as many of them as possible. Right, what else is happening? Hi, Matthew. Hi. What else is going on? I've been gone for too long, says Vamdra. Yes, you have, and you have returned. Yes, you have indeed returned. Welcome. Yes. Yeah. Sorry I'm a bit late, by the way. Remembered literally as I started the stream that it's bin night, and I forgot last week as well. So we've racked up some rubbish in the meantime, so I had to go deal with that. That's entirely my fault. Yeah. Like I say, in a weird place. Yeah, got my signallers exam this weekend, so I've got to revise this. That's happening on Sunday, so tomorrow and Friday are going to be hardcore crack on with the rulebook nights. And then I've got a turn up at Neen Valley on Saturday anyway, so I'll probably get some revision in then. And yeah, I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed at all. Yes, all very exciting. So, what are we doing this evening? We're going to look at some 00 gauge rolling stock tonight. We've done it before. You guys seem to enjoy it, so we're going to have a look at some stuff. Because I've got a couple of new things as well. Do you dare to forget it was midnight? Do you want to be buried in your rubbish? Not particularly. Yeah, no, just, yeah, busy. Anyway, yes, model trains. I've got a couple of new-ish things to show you. Beginning with the long-awaited Rapido Trains Tipfield Thunderbolt set, which is... Guys, where's the Tipfield Thunderbolt set? You know, we were promised it in time for the film's anniversary, which was a few months ago. I thought it was It's still in the factory. Waiting for decoders. Right. Okay, so we're not showing you the Titfield Thunderbolt set tonight. My apologies. What we are doing, though, is we're going to turn our additional lighting on, because it gets a little dark on the floor. And we can't really see anything, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to bring you in the first actual train. Sorry for the rubbish joke, by the way. Our first actual train this evening is... Well, I'll wait for it to come into view, and you can see for yourself. No, you've overshot it, driver. Back it up. Bit more. Little more. There we go. That's it. Right. So, our first model train today is the Hornby London, Brighton and South Coast Railway Terrier Class A1X number 44 Fulham. Now I know what you're thinking, Matthew. You've got one of those already. Well, this isn't new. Technically, you're right. This is the one I've shown you before in its box because I've sold it. And the reason for that is, you might remember me telling you I bought that after I bought one for my Uncle Dave, who passed away recently, and his family asked if I wanted some of his old railway books, plus some of his double O gauge stuff, and that loco was among them. So I thought, well, I want to keep the one I gave Uncle Dave, because, you know, that's a special memory. But I don't need two of them. So I've flogged my one I bought for myself, and I'm keeping Uncle Dave's, because that just felt right. Yeah, what can I say about this model? It's quite nicely detailed. It was a limited edition model. I haven't got the original box out, but the one I had previously that I've sold is number 595 of 1200. I think Uncle Dave's was a little later on in the batch, but I can't quite remember. I've just noticed there's a bit of polystyrene in the wheels. Hold on. Let me grab my tweezers and I'll take care of that. One moment. Come on out, you can. There we go. Apologies, little bit of maintenance. Yes, indeed, one of Stepney's brothers. Very true. Evening, the Merlin Railway. Nice to see you. Right. So yeah, this is Fulham. It's a nicely detailed model, as I say, and I love it. And it's particularly nice because I've now got my connection to my nan's partner, Uncle Dave. So yeah, it's nice to have that. I've also got a load of his old railway books. I might bring a couple of items down later to show you, because they are particularly cool. But yes, let's just start rolling this through slowly. That's a present from Jacob. That's my Happy Father's Day wagon. I've got two Peterborough Coal Company wagons. Number 413 and number 408. And let's speed things along here. That wagon there, the red one, or the first red one, because they're both red, is one from Uncle Dave's double O gauge collection. And then we've got the Arnold Sands Leighton Buzzard one, which, well, Leighton Buzzard is right down the road, so I got that in second hand in a bundle of wagons, so that's why it's there. And then on the back we've got a Great Western Railway towed brake van, which comes from the Hornby Titfield Thunderbolt set, bundled in with 1401. There's meant to be a tail lamp on the back of that, but it's fallen off. It was only held on by a little bit of white tack, to be fair, but still. Little bit perturbed by that. Yes. Terriers in real life are a lot smaller than I thought. Oh, they're tiny. They're tiny little locos. They're adorable, the terriers. I love them to bits. My condolences about your Uncle Dave. I lost my aunt and her fiancé at the beginning of the month, so my sympathies go out to you. I'm terribly sorry about your aunt and her fiancé as well. That's dreadfully sad. My condolences to you, Justin. Yeah, it's yeah, it's nice to have this as a memory of him, and I've got a load of his old rail. In fact, I'm going to go grab a couple of bits now. Just watch the train for a minute. Okay, I'm back. Right, pop some books down here, and I'll show you what we got. If I just flick over to my phone camera, we'll go through this pile a little bit at a time. Beginning with this. This is a really very neat hand-drawn diagram of the railway between Marylebone and Neasden. I'm not sure how old it is, but it's got all semaphore signals on it, so I reckon it must be 50s or 60s. And it is a beautiful document, this. If I just angle this down slightly, and then you can just sort of hold it up for you, and we can sort of pan across. Hold up. Probably on the floor is going to be the best bet. There we go. If I hold it, there we go. That's going to be the best way of doing this. There we are. So this is departing Marylebone through St John's Wood Tunnel, over Hampstead Tunnel. I believe that little gap there is where the railway crosses the West Coast Main Line, but that's not been included in this diagram. Then we keep going here. That is Canfield signal box, I think that says. And we keep going through here, up in this direction. So I'm rolling it up and unrolling it from the other end. We go through this little bit. Here we go, and then there's some details here of the different methods of signalling and various other bits and bobs about. So for example, it talks about there being an absolute block section there, and the equipment. I think it's the equipment in the different signal boxes, but that is genuinely marvellous. Yeah, so we've got Neasden South Junction here, where the railway sort of splits into two and is joined by the railway from, I'm not sure where that comes from. This is the Metropolitan line, this bit of the lower part of the page, hence up and down Met. You've got the details of the signals there. That goes off to Brent North, and then the other line goes off to Neasden North. Yeah, and this just is a little gem of a document, which came bundled with Uncle Dave's books, and it's genuinely marvellous. I feel like this should be in a museum. It almost feels wrong that I have this, but I do genuinely feel privileged that I do, and I'm sure Uncle Dave would have wanted me to have these, because we were both massive railway enthusiasts. I still am, and yeah, I'm sure he would have approved. In amongst his documents and books is this. This is the ABC Railway Guide from September 1952. It's not in great condition. It's been taped together multiple times. But if we open it, you can see it's got all the old adverts and bits in it. So I'll turn this over this way. You can see here it's got all the old adverts. I feel like I should be handling this with gloves if I'm being completely honest. But yes, it's got all of the different information in there, and then further on it's got the train times for all of the various stations. It is pretty sort of marvellous. I don't want to handle that too much, which is fortunate because I have another ABC Railway Guide from an earlier time period, but it's a reissue from July 1923. The reissue was printed, let me see, it will say in the front, won't it? 1986. So this is exactly the same kind of thing, only with, obviously with, it's from much earlier in history, but it's in better condition. So yes, again, adverts, and then it's all train times to the various stations and what have you. It is really, really marvellous. Yes. So that's pretty cool. That's the ABC Railway Guides. And then we have a couple of old railway timetables. This is from June to September 1956. And this is the London, Eastern Counties, Midlands and the North, so out of King's Cross, Liverpool Street, Marylebone and Fenchurch Street. Uncle Dave was a particularly big fan of the Great Central Railway, so a lot of his books pertain to the Great Central. So, yeah, the line out of Marylebone in particular. I'm not sure if it had been closed by this time or not, but possibly not, actually. I think it remained open into the 50s. So, anyway. So yes, there's information on all of these about the train times. It's recognisable as a train timetable. They don't look that different nowadays, but you have to learn how to read them. They didn't have apps back in the day. We're spoilt now. We don't know we're born. So there's that one, and then there's this one, which I find particularly interesting. This is the trains out of London Euston, St Pancras, Marylebone and Broad Street. But if we turn to here, this page here and this whole section is the train times that go to Bletchley. And you can see at the just here, yeah, that's a train that starts from Bletchley and goes to Watford Junction. And there's all the times. So, you know, a little bit of local flavour there. And then finally, I've got these two rather nondescript looking books. So we have this one. I don't know if you can quite read the text on it, but it's the Metropolitan Railway Rule Book from 1933. So that's quite old. That's 90 years old. And if we have a little look through there, it's a nice document. It's in really nice condition. There's a little slip here, which is, I believe that is a diagram to talking about where you place detonators and the like. I haven't read it in any great detail, but that's what I think it's trying to explain. And you can see if I bring this down a touch, yeah. Yeah, this is showing what to do in the event of a train breaking down, I believe. So yes, that is pretty awesome. And then I think my favourite one of these, which I'm going to be very careful with, this is a London and North Eastern Railway Rule Book. And if we open this up very gently, and you can see in the front there, this is, I believe, who it would have been issued to. It was to a signalman at Northolt Junction box. I can't quite make out the name, but I believe that's who had it last. And if you look there, there's an annotation that is dated 30th of June 1927. And if we come over to here, this was first issued on the 1st of March 1926. This is a very old document. Again, it is mad that I have this. It belongs in a museum. It's... I'm going to be very gentle. There you go, you see they're talking about the hand signals there for how to perform shunting in the absence of flags. There is somewhere, see if I can find the relevant section. It was quite early on in the book, if I recall correctly. Yes, it talks about calling on signals and stuff that is all relevant to the railway, but it still describes the company workers as servants. So here we are. The servants of the company, more especially those engaged in the working of trains and in shunting and other similar operations, must not expose themselves to danger. And all are requested to prevent, as far as they possibly can, such exposure on the part of their fellow servants, and to spare no opportunity of warning those who neglect to take proper care. Reckless exposure of himself or others to danger on the part of any servant of the company will be treated as an offence against the company's regulations and punished accordingly. It is a very dated document. The language used in it is in some ways very familiar to me, having learnt the railway rule book by RSSB for the big railway, and then the Nene Valley Railway rule book for my voluntary work. A lot of it is familiar, some of it's completely alien. Like, we don't describe employees as servants of the company anymore. That's a very old way of talking about things. But somewhere in here, there is a annotation which I think was essentially deleting a section of the rulebook that was no longer relevant. Here it is. That's a page that's fallen out. We won't worry about that too much. Yeah, you can see there that says cancelled. And there's a few annotations like that, and they are all dated. Again, yes, there's one at the bottom of the page here. These are all dated 1927 in previous parts of the book. I can't find the annotation I found that had the date against it, but there are bits and bobs that are no longer considered relevant. Does this have... here we are. This is a supplementary pamphlet. It's not a page that's fallen out. That's been put in there deliberately. Alterations and additions of the company's Book of Rules and Regulations dated 1st of March 1926. This pamphlet must be pasted at the end of the rulebook, and each of the altered rules or clauses of the rules as they now appear present in the rulebook must be cancelled in ink, and the alterations and additions which have been made carefully read and understood. That is from the office of R.L. Wedgwood, who was the Chief General Manager of LNER on the 30th of June 1927. And then you can see there's some rules that have been reissued. Rule number 184, which is talking about vehicles standing in sidings being properly secured and left sufficiently clear of fouling points or any adjoining sidings. Staff running on engines and vehicles or when on the ground alongside vehicles at converging points in sidings must take special care that there is sufficient clearance for their safety. And Rule 279, Instruction 1 to become 1A, new instructions as follows. In Section B, casks, drums or other receptacles which are unsound or leaking must not be accepted for conveyance. If leakage from receptacles containing dangerous goods occurs in transit, such receptacles must, if loaded with other goods, be unloaded and the circumstance reported by wire to the district manager for chemist's advice. Yeah, it's it is mad that I have this. It feels completely wrong, but I'm so glad I do. Uncle Dave was an avid collector. I think that's fairly obvious to see. I actually have a shelf specifically for all of these documents I've shown you because they are very fragile, and I'm very, very aware that I will shortly have a toddler wandering around, and I want them to be very much out of reach so they can't be damaged. But yes, that is a stunning little gem of railway history there. Yeah, I apologise for boring you all senseless, but yes. Right, what's happened in the chat room? Let's have a look. What's going on? Here we are. Right. Guys, we're in charge now. We've been left alone. Let's start some chaos. I shall summon my Daleks and run experiment. Oh, he's back. It is incredible, isn't it? I went to Chester Cathedral to see Pete Waterman's Making Tracks 3. That's got Milton Keynes Central on it. I'm going to go to the Great Electric Train show in October to go and see that. that looks pretty sort of marvellous. It's very accurate as well. Trains. Yes, this isn't really playing trains. It's just Matt flaunting his inheritance. A little bit, yes. My fellow Dalek. Matt, I could buy it off you for around £3. It's a good bargain. No. Did he have his own model railway? Yes, he had an N-gauge model railway. That's gone to one of his grandchildren. But he had an assortment of 00 gauge wagons and the loco down here. Oh, no, wrong camera. There we go. The terrier that's going around the track here. And yes, I was very kindly gifted that by his family. Uncle Dave wasn't a blood relative. He was my nan's partner for many years. They got together not long after my granddad died, because him and my granddad were very close friends. He asked him to look after her, and they fell in love, and that's rather beautiful. I was very close to him. He's a lovely man, genuinely lovely, and I'm gutted he is no longer with us. But I have all of these bits that I can remember him by, and that is very special. And I'm sure he would have wanted me to have those books, because I am sure it would bring him a great deal of pleasure to see me gushing over them like I just have. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Has Uncle Dave been to the preserved Great Central Railway? He was a member of the Great Central Railway. He used to take trips up there quite a lot before COVID happened and he became less mobile. But yes, he was aware of the preserved Great Central Railway. I've been up there myself for a couple of visits recently. And I had a fab time. I think I saw you, actually, Jack Rumsey. We were there on Father's Day for the gala, and I swear I saw you filming at Cornham Woodhouse as we left on the train. I think it was the 9F pulling on that one. But yeah, I swear I saw you there. And, I did give you a wave, but I don't think you saw me. So, never mind. Anyway, what else? LNER rules, yes. Dice Station has read half of these books, indeed. Looks no, it doesn't. Let's not go there. Danger engines must not pass this board. Matt is a big train fan. You've only just realised this. When can we see the trains? There we are. There is a train on the floor. So we can find Matt at the Great Electric Train Show. I'm not telling you what day I'm going. Where's the Flying Scotsman? I've got the Flying Scotsman. Somewhere or other. Yes. Look, I'm getting lots of emojis pop up. Is that you reacting to stuff, guys? I can't tell. I am rubbish at this. But anyway, yes. Yes, Great Electric Train Show held at Milton Keynes Stadium in October. I may be going. I may be organising a trip with my good friends Dick and Paul from Biggest Little Railway. We may be going together, but don't know yet. I'll probably be taking my son, so yeah, that'll be a good day, whatever happens. Anyway, I do have a Flying Scotsman model, which I'll get out in a minute. The only A1 Pacific left, indeed, very true. Right, go every day. That's how to find Matt. Oh dear. Right, let's have a little look at the Q&A, see if anyone's had anything to say in there. How many trains do you own? Oh, God. Too many to count. I've got 3 items of rolling stock that I've built for the Garden Railway, which you will all probably recognise because one of them was built on the channel. There is... Silver Lady, the main one, Roundhouse Silver Lady. Pixie, who is a Mammoth quarry locomotive, who is not very reliable, but shh, don't tell her I said that. And Quainton, which is a kit model from Timpson Models, I think, or Timpton Models, which I built in previous episodes of Live from the Works, so go check them out if you haven't already. There she is. Quainton, named after the place I got married. So yes, those are the ones I've got for the Garden Railway, and I am. What words, sentences, phrases? I have lots of double O gauge stuff, and I have a couple of N gauge locos as well. Yeah, I can't remember how many. Lots, and a mammal traction engine, yes, which is a beautiful little model. Let's see. Matthew, do you plan to become a train engineer or a conductor? I was a conductor for the big railway for a while. I'm not anymore. The less we say about that, the better. I was not a good fit for the mainline guard role, let's put it that way. And yeah, the company and I parted ways, and I now have a very nice job as a train planner, which I enjoy much more than the conductor role. But I am still a volunteer guard at the Nene Valley Railway and training to become a signaller. In fact, I've got my rules exam this Sunday, and I should be revising, but instead I'm here talking to you. Yeah, that's all good fun. Right, moving on. What's the square root of 256? I have no idea. I have no idea. DTS workshops. I went to Tallinn on the 22nd and 23rd of July. It was full of people contaminated with Thomas Fans disease. It's tragic. What are your thoughts on David Tennant being the Doctor again? I'm excited. Yes, it was good. Yes, that was very exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have his sonic screwdriver. There's a video up on the channel where I take a look at it. Do go check that out. Yeah, excited about David Tennant. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with that. What are your thoughts on Dalek Giratina's claw? I like a Dalek with a claw. It's very neat. What inspired your love of trains, or something like that? I mean, three things really. First off, my granddad was a massive railway enthusiast, so it was very much in the blood. My mum loves railways. My dad loves railways, so it was kind of a given. I was brought up on the railway series, i.e. the Thomas books, and the television show, which is inferior to the books as far as I'm concerned. And thirdly, we visited a lot of preserved lines while I was growing up, and you know, we went to miniature railways, big railways, model railways. You know, everything was about railways, and lots of lots of railways in my childhood, and yeah, I was hooked from a young age. It was inevitable, really. I was very much indoctrinated, but it was a good indoctrination. Right, what else? Could I buy all of this off you for the great price of $4.99? No, that wouldn't even get me a Mars bar these days. Have you thought about making a Dalek episode where they try and use or experiment on the trains for their plans? The railway features in very early stories, because I have or still have a model railway at my parents' house, double O gauge, called Scratchwood Junction, which features in very early Dalek stories of the adventures of Derek and Matt. So it has turned up before. Let's see. What inspired you to do trains? Do trains? I just like trains. That's I don't know what you mean by do trains. Do you plan to? Oh, I've answered that one already. Can I have your 14th Doctor Sonic screwdriver? No, you'll have to wait for them to build more, which they are doing. Don't support scalpers, guys. They are dreadful people. Tell Nigel you better not mess up my research or I'll use my claw. Fear me, Nigel. Noted. Thank you. What else has propped up in the chat room? That was the Q&A. Please do leave me Q&A questions, and I will get to them as we go. Let's see. I was watching your first live stream in May 2021 with Silver Lady. Yes, you were. I remember you from that, I think. Yeah. What else? Train looks like Stepney. It's the same class. It's a Terrier. The new sonic screwdriver can change colours and make a different noise. Yes, I found that out now, subsequently. but they never tried to use them. No, well, why would they? The railway vehicles just go around and around. The function's meaningless. People who've been here for ages will understand that joke. Yes. Anywho, right. So, Stepney's going around there. Matt, make Daleks find the Holy Grail for December. That's your thing. You make it. You make it if you want to. Someone requested it. Yes, you. Right. Yeah, Dalek December is shaping up to be quite good. I have 3 new videos planned. Very excited about that. Right. I am going to bring the train to a halt and swap it out for something different. Here we go. Oh. Hello. Right. There we go. Right. Let's pop Fulham to bed and get out something different. I think someone asked me to get Flying Scotsman out. My Flying Scotsman is in here somewhere. Hold on, let me find it. Might be in the bottom drawer. I'll have to move the light. 1 second. Lift out these wagons. There the old girl is. Right. Here we go. Just for a moment, there we are. There we go, right. Back her up. Okay, right. There we are. This is a Hornby Triang Flying Scotsman with realistic chuffing. And I will agree, it does look completely wrong hauling wagons, but we'll roll with it. Not sure if you can hear the realistic chuffing. You can a little bit. Right back there we go. Oh, hi Richard, nice to see you. Bye Dalek Sec, nice to see ya. An old boy. Yes, it is fast. Hang on, I'm going to try and slow down. James May does indeed own one of them, and it's probably in a lot better condition than mine is. Mine's got a chunk of the cab roof missing. So... Oh, hang on. That sounds like something's off the track. Hang on. Yes, something is off the track. It's the tender. Hold on. That's better. Probably be a bit healthier now. There we go. That's better. Sounds a bit healthier. What would happen if you threw a Dalek in water? It would get very cross. Let's see what the Ask Me Anything has thrown up, if anything. When are you moving all your trains out of Jacob's Playroom, aka Mum and Dad's garage? When I get the chance. Are you going to build a permanent 00 gauge layout at Tea Time Towers? Yes, either in the loft or down here. I'm not decided yet. My dad and I have some ideas. It's my dad who asked the question, full disclosure, but yes. When's the next Ask a Dalek and can Nigel be on? There will definitely be an Ask a Dalek for Dalek December, and I won't spoil who's going to be in it. What else? When's the next tea time with Matt? I've got an idea for one. I haven't been bothered to write it yet. I have a child now. It gets in my way. Why do I want to see a video of you turning the Daleks into trains with you as the conductor? Because of an experiment gone wrong. Oh dear. That's... what do you put in first when eating cereal? Milk or cereal? Cereal first. Anything else is just an abomination. Apparently Flying Scotsman is Gordon's brother. Yes, they are meant to be the same type of logo, aren't they? Yes. Yes, I will get around to moving my trains out of Mum and Dad's garage at some point. I need to get another storage box because I'm going to put stuff that I don't necessarily want out at the moment in the loft. So I'm going to order some more storage boxes. But yes, I will get round to it at some point soon. Just not right away. Anyway, right. While Flying Scotsman's having a bit of a run out, I should probably try and wrap this up so I can post it tomorrow. So let's do that. I'm going old school with this. I couldn't find a box that was small enough to put this in, or large enough to put this in. There was nothing middle ground wise. So I've got a plan. I'm going old school. Do I own any Railway Series books? Yes, I do. I've got a collection of all of the ones that were about so big in my Thomas that my dad built for me, which I will show off one day, but not right now because I have to bring him downstairs, and I'm not about that life. Right. Parcel this thing up. There it goes. Right, so we'll do it that way up. Here we go. So yeah, literally going old school and just wrapping this in brown paper. That seemed to be the safest way of doing things. So that's what we're going to do. And then I'll wrap it in parcel tape afterwards. That's done. Bosh. There we go. So, there, there we go, and same again on this side. This package doesn't tick, does it? I hope not. It's, there we go. Right, done. And then somewhere I've got some parcel tape, and I'll just wrap that round it, just to properly secure it. Oh. I've lost the end bit. I hate it when that happens. Go. There we are. Right, stick that there. Chop the end off. There we go. Right. And then I'm just gonna take that, stick that on there like that, and that in like that, and just go once around, just so I know it's properly fastened. There we go. Watch. Happy days. One parcel. Done. Yeah, that's good enough, right? Now I've just got to go and order some postage, which I will do right now. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. That is a really stupid suggestion. I'm not going to do that. Right, Royal Mail. Postage online, that's what we want. There we go. Right. Buy postage or book a collection. Here we go. Send an item. Parcels from $2.99. There we are. Where's your item going? United Kingdom. Small parcel up to 2 kilos. That's the one. What's the weight of your... Oh, good question. I'm going to go weigh this. I'll be back in a minute. It's 200 grams, for those who care. Can we also get your address on it? Nice try. Let's see, up to 250. There we go. Track 24. Let's do that. There we go. Give us their email address and phone number. Can't do phone number, but I can do their email address. Bear with. There we go. My computer's chugging along a little bit at the moment because it's struggling to deal with the fact that I'm copying a load of files and streaming at the same time, so it is chugging along a little bit. Never mind. I'm taking Lady Anne to the Abbey pumping station again on the 20th this month for a garden railway project. Oh, that sounds fun. Ah, nice. Keyboard cam? No. Oh, God, verify your contact info. Hold that thought. There we are. Done. No. That one, there we go. Nice, okay. Yeah, sure, why not? There we go, nice. Okay, I look a bit washed out for some reason. What's going on with this camera? Hang on, let me check the video input. What's going on there? Hold on. Low light compensation's turned off, fine. White balance, fine, yeah. Exposure, oh, no. Let's not do that. Auto. There we go. It's not much better. It's fine. It'll work. I just look very yellow around the eyes for some reason. Something's not right there. Is it possibly because I put my microphone in the wrong place? Who cares? Anyway, right. What was I doing? That's what I was doing. I was checking stuff I'd sold, so I could get my purchaser's email address. Go look at a train for a moment while I'm doing that, and yeah. Let's see, overview. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Ship your order. Here we go. So, they've not given me an email address, which is unfortunate, but never mind. Let's see. Don't need a label, that's fine. Oh, actually, I can do it direct through eBay, so that might be easier. Let's do that. Okay. That's fine, no problem. Am I jaundiced? Possibly. So here we go. Tract 24 drop off. There we go. That's it. No, don't require signature. Let's do that. Purchase label. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. This is now going to complain about my printer, no doubt, but never mind. Let me see here. Yes. Print. There we go. In black and white, I think. Yes, there we go. Done. Right. That should be fine. Okay. I've packed and posted it already, so that's fine. Got the tracking number. Great. So that will gone to my email. Yes, I think it has. Jolly good. My email has signed me out, so that's helpful. Exciting content here for you, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise. Normal service will be resumed shortly. No, I don't want to do that. I have them. Go away. There we go. Right. Let's see. The label is ready. Great. There we go. Fantastic. Done. Okay. Amazing. Go back. There we go. Let's see. Done. Amazing. We did it! Yay! Right, now I've just got to post the damn thing. Yay. Right, I'll drop that at the post office tomorrow. Sorted. Nice. That's now printing, so happy days. Right. That's that little job taken care of. It's take the phone off now, because we don't need that for the minute. That's over and done with now. That part of the video is over. Now we're just into the train playing portion. So with that in mind, let's get something else out to play. Let's see, come on. There we go. Hornby Triang Flying Scotsman with realistic chuffing. Gotta love it. Right. So, next up. Let's pop you back in the box. You lovely little thing. There we go. There she is. Back in. Right. If we come up here. This is a new purchase. You haven't seen this before. This is 735050 City of Peterborough. Although not carrying the City of Peterborough nameplate. If anyone knows where I can get a 00 gauge name board made up, do let me know, because I would love to get the City of Peterborough name board put on. This is a loco that is based at the Nene Valley Railway and is currently in its long-term overhaul. So she won't be back out to play for a while, but this is her. And it's a Bachmann model, so it's whisper quiet and really rather stunning. There we go. How much are you charging for postage? I can't remember. Let's have a look in the Q&A. I know we'll get you more views on this stream. What? He said fearfully. All bits are falling off the track. There we go. I dread to ask. Tea time with Jacob. That'd be great and nothing would go wrong. Indeed. Have I listened to Spare Parts? I love Spare Parts. It's a brilliant story. In 2025, it will be the Railway Series 80th anniversary, so maybe then show some of them or read them out. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Have you ever had an inappropriate bot in your comments? Yes. What does gosh mean? Gosh. It's just gosh. It's... let's see... Captain Scarlet or Thunderbirds? I don't think I ever watched Captain Scarlet, so Thunderbirds by default. What do you think of the Class 456 locos? Personally, I like them. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to look these up. Oh, these are the electric multiple units. Electric multiple units are dull. I don't like electric multiple units very much. I've just realised that that is in shot, which is not great. So, the tender derailed. It did. It had a tender behind. Thomas the Tank Engine, what happens to the faces? Do they die? That's a dark question. Let's see. After the stream ended, add Thomas the Tank Engine as the thumbnail. That's... I mean, it's dishonest, but yes, it would probably get me lots of views. I'm not denying that. Yes. Nope. Something come off again? No, it's fine. Nice train. Thank you. It is a good train. Yeah, it's Bachmann, so it's basically whisper quiet. It's a lovely model, this. There we go. Lovely stuff. It's a cracking little model, that. I love it. It's a lovely loco. I would like to see the real one. It will be back at the Nene Valley at some point. The boiler's gone off for its overhaul. So next few years, hopefully it'll be back out to play again. Yeah, look for that. Oh, the 465s. Hold on. That's another electric multiple unit. Again. Oh, dear. What's the rarest train you own? Oh, the rarest? I don't know enough about model trains to know what the rarest is. Oh, that's a really good question. I'm genuinely not sure. Probably the rarest one I own is one I purchased this year. And it's this. Hold on. Get my close-up camera up and we'll have a proper look. I showed this off in a live from the work stream, but the camera quality was abysmal. So you probably haven't seen this in any great detail. So let's fire up the camera again, and I'll show it off so we can have a proper look in full HD. Let's just check that this is working. We're not connected from the looks of it at the moment. Let's try again. Use new camera. Come on. Come on, you only want to. There we are. That's working again. Okay, so let's switch over to the phone camera. This is probably the rarest thing I own, because this is a Hornby Type 40 Clockwork O-gauge loco. There's a few of them knocking about, but probably not as many as other items, as this was built in, I believe, 1950 something. So there's probably not as many of these around as any of my double O-gauge stuff. So this is probably the rarest one. Yeah, it's not prototypical to any particular loco. It is very much a toy, but I love it. I think it's got its own little charm. Yeah, it's probably the rarest one I own. Yeah, it's literally got throttle and reverser as well. So you literally, well, you almost drive it like the real thing, which is nice. It's good. Right, hold on. There we go. Yeah, there you go. That lever there does the forward and reverse. In fact, if we look on this side, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little mechanism just at the bottom there. If I pull the reverser in and out, that's how you direct the clockwork. The clockwork, incidentally, is this bit underneath. I can't really force it. I don't want to break it. But you can see under there, that's where all the clockwork stuff is. And yeah, that is probably the rarest thing I own, train rides. There we go. Moo the dog has donated $4.99. Can I bribe you to make the Daleks find the Holy Grail with some money? I'm not open to bribes, but thank you for your donation. That is really cool. Thank you. That's very kind. Yes. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. Have I seen Invasion of Dark's Corner? No, I haven't. It came up on my subscriptions. I haven't watched it yet. I can't do any more. I lost £40 doing this once. Yeah, no, don't give me any more. That's I don't want anyone to go poor for me. But thank you. That's really kind. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. So thank you very much. What's a bribe? No comment. Oh, well, that's really nice. Thank you. Oh, I'm touched. Thank you. Right, back to the... Something has gone a tiny bit wrong there, hasn't it? That's, yes. Okay, right. There we go. Let's park that up there a minute. We'll swap the loco out. Here we go. You back up here. There you go, pretty thing. And speaking of pretty things, let's get my little Hunslet out to play. Ring 4. Here we go. HAW for those who were asking. That felt unnecessary. There we go. This is the Rapido 16-inch Hunslet. 16-inch, by the way, refers to the width of the cylinder, which I did not know. But yes, that's... yes. Yeah, this is a beautiful little model. I love this. It doesn't make any noise. I literally can't hear that. It's wonderful. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a lovely little model. I adore this. Particularly as it's got a little flickering fire in the cab, which you'll probably see at some point. Get the one from the thumbnail. That one's been out already. That was the little terrier we had out to play earlier. Let's speed things up a teeny bit. Here we go. It's taking a while to get round. Can you see the flickering fire from there? Probably not. Oh no, maybe a little bit in the background there. You might catch it as it goes over the corner. Wouldn't be sure if something didn't go wrong at least once. Oh, shush. There we go. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see the glow from the firebox reflected at the back, and maybe a little glimpse as it came around the corner there. In fact, I could turn the camera around ever so slightly so you can see the firebox. Go. Let's go that way. Just for a minute. There we are. And then as it goes past, you'll be able to see it. Or at least that's the plan. Yes, I have shown this off before. I did a whole video on it specifically. I'm going to do another one of those when I get some more of my Rapido purchases through. I've got 1500 class 1501 on pre-order. There you go, little glimpse of the firebox there. That's due in September. I've got the Tipfield Thunderbolt set. That's coming in the latter part of the year. The buffet car from the Tipfield Thunderbolt also coming latter half of this year. What else? I've pre-ordered Metropolitan 1, which is the Metropolitan Railway Loco. What's the type actually? Hold on, I need to look that up. Let's see. It's an E-Class, Metropolitan E-Class, number 1. So I've got that on pre-order as well. And I think that's all of the trains I've got on pre-order at the moment. But yes, that's it's a good one. Matthew, can you do a double header? Yes, actually, I can. Bear with. 1 moment. So those of you who are in the know will probably know this already, but Ring Hawes got a big brother, or a little brother, or a twin brother, shall we say, called Jack's Green. And they both worked at Nassington Quarry, which is adjacent to where the Nene Valley Railway is now, and Jack's Green is still based there, so obviously I had to have a Jack's Green. I call them the twins. Oh, yes. They're both lovely little models. I like them a lot. Yes, there we are. The twins, ladies and gentlemen. Turn the camera back round so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Right. So, open the regulators up a bit. You're dawdling, chaps. There are 2, yes. Doctor Who Road Phase 6 has started. I enjoy Doctor Who Road. It's... Oh! Well, something's gone wrong there. Hold on. Sorry, just mucking around with couplings. There we go. That's better. Not Bill and Ben, no. The legally distinct twins. Do I not have passenger coaches? Yes, of course I do. But we're playing with wagons tonight, just because I fancied it, and they're easier to put on and off the track. Here we go. So we've got Jack's Green at the front, and Ring Haw as loco number 2. There you go. They are cracking, aren't they? Oh, I'm very happy. we go. Lovely little models these. I'm going to slow them down a tad as they come past, so we can have a proper little look at that. Let's just speed them up just to get them around the corner, and then we'll slow them to a little crawl just while they come round the corner, and you can have a nice little look at the detail. I do have Henrietta. We'll have Henrietta out to play with an appropriate loco in a minute. Here we go. There's Jack's green. See the little firebox there, and Ringhor again, little firebox flicker. It's a very little firebox flicker because I've not quite put enough power in, I don't think. But there we go. If I speed them up a bit, it's a bit brighter. There we go. Get Toby. I don't have Toby. I should probably own a Toby, but I don't at the moment. There we go. There's the twins. Bill and Ben flower pot trains. I like that. That is delightfully silly. I'll give you that. Right. There we go. That is postage. There you go. Nice. I've got a BBC News alert on my phone saying, could Donald Trump go to prison? God, I hope so. Oh. Oh. Toby's my favourite. I like Toby. Toby's fun. There we are. Right, I'm gonna get an appropriate train out in a second, because it would be offensive to me not to get this train out for reasons you all know. So I shall do so. Right. Pop that back. There we are. And then we'll bring the train round again. I can't see what you're writing in the chat room because I've forgotten my glasses. That wasn't clever. Never mind. Let's put Ringhor and Jack's green to bed. Right, put these wagons to bed as well. Everybody say goodbye to the trucks. They're going to bed now. Pick up the lights. There we go. Knocked the camera over as well. This is going well. That lives in there. These live up here. Those go. I'm getting quite a nice little collection of wagons actually. It's looking good. There we are. Right. Right, let's pop these two little dears back to bed. There we go. One in there. Like that, and one in there like that. There we go. Right, and then there's a tow brake van, there's Henrietta. I think you can see where I'm going with this. There's 1401. Until I get the Titfield Buffet coach, Henrietta is a decent stand-in, so we're going with that. Ooh. Henrietta. So apparently I want to behave today. There we go, that's better. Your coupling is misbehaving. Come on. Yeah, Bachman and Hornby couplings don't like to make friends, but we will attempt it. Here we go. There it is, 1401, everybody. Get that out of the way. More light over there. There we go. There it is, number 1401. Cracking little loco, this. My favourite loco class, that. There we go. Right. Wait, if 3 trains are coupled, does that mean they are partaking in a train? No, no, we're not doing that. 1401 has stopped. Come on, that's it. That's better. There we go. It's a bit happier now. Whole reason Thomas is number 1 is because it's the easiest number to paint. I don't know if that's true, but yes. Edward was the first ever character. That's true, he was. Fingers crossed the indictment goes somewhere. Yeah, that's... yeah, let's hope so. Please, God, let's hope so. Let's see. Finally, Matt is on the good side. I've always been on the good side. What are you trying to say? I am on the side of the angels, but that doesn't mean I am one. Let's see what is happening in the world. Death, death, fire, death. Oh, oh dear. Goodness me. You hate Trump, that's why. I really do not like the man. I didn't like the man before, and I don't like him now. He is an odious little twerp. The angels, you say? Yes. That will make America great again. And ironically, yes. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Would that it did. Would that it did. I've got the lighting all wrong in here, so it doesn't look quite right, but never mind. What do I think about Just Stop Oil? I admire their aims. I don't admire the way they go about it. Yeah. There we go. There we are. That's slightly better, possibly-ish. Is it? I don't know. Probably not. There we are. That felt mildly better, actually. If I pop the light there... Is that any better? I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? I learnt nothing from 4 years of studying television. That might be an improvement. Not really. Never mind. We tried. We tried. There we go. Right. Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. All right, all right. Hang on. Let's have a little look. What are my thoughts on the diesel engine? Do you hate them? I just find diesels dull. So sorry, Matthew. That's fine. I don't know what you did. What do you intend to do with that £5? Will that get you a Mars bar? Actually, for the next stream, you must purchase a Mars bar and eat it at the start. I make no promises. Do I have any other big surprises planned in 9 months? You've got to give Jacob a sibling. There are no plans for Jacob 2.0 at the moment. How do I get women? No, we're not going there. What are my thoughts on Markiplier? I have no idea who that is. Sonic or Mario? Sonic, I think. I grew up with Sonic games. What can I say? Let's see. What else? Why does this remind me of the Railway Story Escape? It does a bit. Yes. Anyway, that's all the questions for the moment. If you've got any more, please do stick them in the chat. I will answer as many of them as I can. Shall we have a little look at the rulebook? Mainly so I can do some revision, let's be honest. Let's see here. Right. Exhibition of hand signals from a signal box. When a signaller gives a hand signal, it must in all cases be exhibited outside the signal box. After a train has been brought to a stand by a hand danger signal from a signal box, the driver must not move, even if the hand signal is withdrawn, until a green hand signal is exhibited by the signaller. This hand signaller will not authorise a driver to pass a fixed signal at danger unless they have been verbally instructed by the signaller to do so. Fairly basic stuff. White hand signals, green hand signals. I know all these for being a guard. Let's see. Here we are. Green hand signals for the signaller. Oh no, white hand signals first. Let's see. To indicate to signaller that a movement is clear of points in shunting, white light moved quickly above the head by a twisting movement of the wrist by guard or shunter. To indicate to guard, shunter or other person in charge that the lever controlling the points has been operated in shunting, white light moved quickly above the head by a twisting movement of the wrist by the signaller. Indicate to the driver that their train has divided, a green hand signal waved slowly from side to side by the signaller. To authorise the driver to move after having been stopped by red hand signal exhibited at the signal box. And that is a green hand signal held steadily by the signaller. So that's exciting. What's the budadum noises? What are you trying to tell me? We've started ploughing through my documents in the computer copy, so we'll be done quite soon, I imagine. That's good. What was my first model engine? I'm reasonably certain. Right, it was either the Flying Scotsman I showed you earlier, or this, which is it's a Hornby sort of 040. It's not terribly prototypical of anything in particular. It's the template for a lot of their sets now, and this is the Hensel Sand Company one. Gould branch sidings, the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, number 23. You may notice on the, if I turn the light on the webcam here, you may notice if I hold them up to the camera that there's a little bit of discoloration on the smoke box there. That's because I used to glue a face to him and pretend it was Thomas. Yeah. I mean, it's not far off. Sorry, that was doing funny things to my head for a minute there, because I could see the front of the loco on the camera, but not here. That did weird things to my brain. Anyway. Let's see. Everyone's first. Even I have that model. Matt, we're good friends, you and I. Can I have your Sonic? I'm crying. My dog is holding me at gunpoint. Oh dear. Have I finished the lines? I have not had time to look at the lines yet. I'm ever so sorry. Could you please send them to me again, and I will get to them when I have some free time. It won't be this weekend because I'm full on railway stuff this weekend, but I will get to it at some point. I promise. I apologise that I have not done so already. Would you set up what Riz is? It's very important. I'm not going to do that. What happened on the 11th of September? Well, I had a guard turn at Neen Valley, and Mum and Dad were taking care of their neighbour's chickens. I mean, that was September last year. Can you be more specific? I'm thinking about getting a Silver Lady one day. Probably it's going to be in the future. I recommend the Silver Lady. They're lovely locos. My first was the 390 Alston Pendolino set. Yeah, my friend Paul has got the Pride Pendolino, and that looks quite nice. But again, it's an EMU. I love my steam engines. I have a soft spot for my steam locos. I don't like diesels or electric engines. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know. 2001. Well, I had some lunch. And what did I do? I remember it was a Thursday. I want to say it was a Thursday. Hang on. Let's find out. 2001. No, sorry, it was a Tuesday. Not on a Thursday, it was a Tuesday. Yeah. It was a fairly unremarkable day, and I don't think anything of note happened. That's bait. I'm not rising to it. You did resend them. Was that on Discord? Because I will go and look them up. To give an alright signal to driver when fixed signal is disconnected or out of order. Green signal held steadily by hand signaller at the signal. To authorise the driver to draw forward to signal box when fixed signal is out of order before the hand signaller has arrived. A green hand signal held steadily by the signaller at the signal box. To indicate to the driver that the section is clear but the station is blocked. A green hand signal held steadily by the signaller as the train is approaching the signal box or after giving verbal warning. To authorise driver to pass fixed signal at danger when attaching, detaching or removing vehicles. A green hand signal held steadily by the signaller. To indicate to driver termination of temporary speed restriction, a green hand signal waves slowly from side to side by the hand signaller. Again, not really relevant to the signalling role itself. Riz is short for charisma. It simply means the ability to charm and woo a person. It's pronounced, well, Riz, just like it's spelt. Indeed. Do I know what William Gustloff is? No, and I'm not sure I want to. Is that the Wilhelm scream? Like, ah! Ah! Like that. Ah! What am I doing with my life? I don't know. Let's see. This is about guards. I know how to be a guard already. Because I'm a qualified one. I'm a certified incompetent guard. Additional duties in charge of freight trains. No, this is driving guards in respect of lamps. Duties of signallers. Here we are. Signallers must make themselves conversant with the duties of drivers and guards. Yes. Okay, fine. Opening the signal box. A signaller opening a box must, as soon as possible, check the instrument signals, points, etc. are in proper working order. A signaller about to hand over the charge of a signal box to another signaller must not do so unless the person coming on duty is in a fit and proper condition to take charge. The signaller leaving duty must inform the signaller who is commencing duty whether or not the apparatus is in good working order, what trains are in the sections, or are signalled, or any other necessary information. The relieving signaller must, as far as possible, satisfy themselves that they have received all the necessary information. If a signaller finds that the signaller in the adjacent signal box is working irregularly, they must report this to the operating manager or a signalling inspector immediately, who will then make an assessment of the situation and take appropriate action. We're now on to duties of passenger staff. Not passenger staff, station staff. Matt, help! Tell Monty to leave me alone. He keeps forcing me to drink tea. Welcome to my world. It's a boat that was sunk at the end of World War II in the Baltic Sea, transporting Germans from Russia. I see. Just say you don't consent or fall asleep. You can't give a sleeping person tea. Wanna bet? Loose shunting. Shunting a vehicle or vehicles without being attached to a locomotive. Yeah. That's types of shunting operations. Vehicles may remain attached to the shunting locomotive until positioned where required. Vehicles may be propelled without remaining attached to a locomotive. You lose shunting. Vehicles may be gravitated under manual control. All shunting operations to be carried out at half-walking pace. Shunting is a very dangerous activity. All moves and actions must only be carried out by qualified, competent persons. Oh no. The shunter, shunt driver and signaller must all reach a clear understanding of tasks to be performed before commencing any movements. This is all about the shunter. We are looking for signaller stuff, as that's relevant to my exam. This is about passing between vehicles. Here we are. If vehicles have to be left on a running line, the shunter must immediately advise the signaller. The shunter must ensure that the vehicles are properly secured to prevent any movement. At night or during fog or falling snow, they must place a red light on the rear of the vehicles until they've been moved from the running line. If necessary, a red light must also be placed on the front of the vehicle. The shunter must not place any vehicle outside the out-of-home signal until they have obtained the permission of the signaller. When the line is on a falling gradient to the signal box in the rear, no train or vehicle must be placed outside the home signal. This is about audible signals for shunters. Trains setting back into sidings. Movement over points work bolted or locked from the signal box. When movement not accompanied by a shunter is to be made over points work, bolted or locked from a signal box or ground frame and no fixed signal is provided, the driver must obtain the permission of the signaller or person working the ground frame before moving the locomotive. Such permission may be given verbally or by hand signal or by other authorised means. After receiving such permission, the driver must, as far as practicable, see that the points are in the correct position. When a train or locomotive to set back into a siding or in any similar case and a shunter is not present, the driver must, where the locomotive is near the points, see that the train or locomotive is clear of the points before coming to a stand and indicate this to the signaller by giving 3 short blasts on his whistle. After sunset or during fog or falling snow, the driver of a light locomotive must remove the tail lamp when the locomotive has been shunted from a running line to a siding. Signaller's duties are applicable to ground frame operators. Movement over points work, bolted or locked from a signal box or ground frame. Before any movement is made over points work, bolted or locked from a signal box or ground frame, the shunter must obtain the signaller's permission. The signaller must give permission verbally or by hand signal or other authorised methods. By day, the hand signal must be given by holding one arm above the head, and at night, or during periods of bad visibility, by means of a white light moved quickly above the head by a twisting movement of the wrist. Like this. That's probably easier if I'm holding a light, let's be honest, but never mind. When shunting movements are being carried out between sidings and a running line, the shunter must not reverse the points until she has come to an understanding with the shunter as to what is to be done. If no shunter is present, an understanding must be reached with the driver. During shunting operations, the shunter will indicate that the movement is clear of the points by the following means. This is about shunters, it's not to do with the signaller. When shunting operations are completed, the signaller, before signalling any other movement to pass over the running line or lines concerned, must see or have confirmation from the guard, shunter or driver that such running lines are clear. When a vehicle is detached and left on a running line, the shunter will advise the signaller, who must keep the necessary signals at danger to protect the vehicles and make use of the reminder appliances. They're little red things that you pop over the levers. The signaller must keep a good lookout at all times, and if they see that a vehicle has been detached and left on a running line, they must take the necessary steps to prevent it, i.e. use reminder appliances and put signals to danger. No vehicle should be placed outside the outermost home signal without the signaler's permission. Detention of trains on running lines. When a train is brought to a stand owing to a stop signal being at danger, the driver must sound the whistle. If the stop signal is not then cleared, the fireman or second man, or failing them, the guard or shunter, must go to the signal box to remind the signaller of the presence of the train. In clear weather, the train must not stand for more than 2 minutes and a stop signal before the person goes to the signal box. But during fog or falling snow, they must go at once. They must remain in the signal box until permission is given for the train to proceed, or until they have been assured that the appropriate reminder appliance has been used, when they must return to their train or locomotive. The reminder will be given by the driver sounding the whistle upon coming to a stand, or by one or more of the following: by use of the telephone provided at the signal, a mobile telephone or a radio, or by one of the train crew going to the box. When a train has been brought to a stand owing to a stop signal being at danger, or a shunting movement has come to a stand and a vehicle or vehicles are going to be attached, the signaller must be reminded of its position. That's the principles of everything I've just said. What else is happening here? Which one is the best? Fireman Sam, Postman Pat, or Bob the Builder? Postman Pat. Your house and everything is mine unless you can disprove this fact. Your heart must beat to live normally. I didn't agree to that, so no. What else is happening in the chat? I put a question in, Ask Me Anything, Bob. It's fine. What in God's name? Just say you don't consent or fall asleep. I've done that. Hey, Missy, you're so fine. What's your opinion on the Mondasian Cybermen? I like the Mondasian Cybermen. They're delightfully creepy. Have I subscribed to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel? I think I forgot. I need Peter Capaldi to remind me. If a train or locomotive comes to a stand when it has passed a stop signal for the purpose of being crossed to another line or let into a siding, or it has been shunted to another running line or along the same running line, or it has been shunted from a siding to a running line and it is detained beyond the time usually taken to set up the route for its next movement, the fireman or second man, or failing them, the guard or shunter, must go to the signal box and act as in 2.3.1.1. 2.3.1.3. When a movement has been shunted from one running line to another, the fireman or second man, or failing them, the guard or shunter, before going to the signal box or otherwise reminding the signaller, must satisfy themselves that the line from which the movement has been shunted is clear. The duty of going to the signal box must be performed by the fireman or second man, or failing them, the guard or shunter. When the light locomotive is accompanied by a guard or shunter, this person must go to the signal box. The person who goes to the signal box, after reminding the signaller of the position of the train, vehicle or locomotive, must insert in the train register the time and the line upon which the train is standing, and then sign his/her name after the entry. The signaller will then initial the entry. Sufficient time will be allowed by the signaller for the fireman, guard or shunter to rejoin the train before they clear the signal. The train driver must not move the train until they receive confirmation that the person has rejoined the train. If the signal box is ahead of the train, the signaller need not wait for the person to rejoin the train before they clear the signal, but the driver, when the signal is cleared, must proceed slowly towards the signal box and stop to enable the person to rejoin the train. When a train is brought to a stand on a single line owing to a stop signal being at danger and no telephone is provided, but the driver is in possession of the train staff, that's the object that you hand out to a train to tell them they've got permission to be in a section, or if working by pilot man is in operation and the pilot man is accompanying the train, the pilot man basically is a competent member of staff with a red armband that says pilot man, and they're basically a human train staff, and they are what's used in the event the staff gets lost, like someone drops it off the footplate, for example. Where was I? And the pilot is accompanying the train. The driver must sound the whistle, but it will not be necessary for the fireman, guard or shunter to either go to the signal box or communicate by authorised means with the nearest open signal box to remind the signaller of the position of the train. Should, however, the train be detained for an unusually long time, the fireman, guard or shunter must go to the signal box or communicate by authorised means with the signaller. It will not be necessary for the fireman, guard or shunter of a passenger train to remind the signaller of the position of the train when the train is standing in a station platform or at a terminus of the line. If a signaller is contacted from a signal post, telephone or other appropriate method and it is necessary for the train to remain at the stop signal, they must advise the train crew accordingly. Whenever a train or shunting movement is detained or a track circuit or similar equipment is not provided, the signaller must immediately make use of lever collars or other appliances to serve as a reminder. A track circuit is basically they pass a little electrical current through the rails, and a train standing on that electrical current creates a circuit, and that illuminates a light in the signal box. There's a line diagram up there, and some of them will have little lights, and if the light is illuminated, it means there's a vehicle standing on that section. And that is what a track circuit looks like in the signal box. Let's see. The signaller must see that the member of train crew on arriving at the signal box inserts into the train register the time and the line on which the train is standing and sign their name against the entry. This must be initialed by the signaller, who must tell the member of train crew when the reminder appliance, if any, has been used. If the signaller is unable to make use of reminder appliances, the member of the train crew will remain in the signal box until the train is able to proceed. Because there's nothing quite like someone who was on the train going, "Oi, my train's still there," to act as a reminder. If the train crew makes contact with the signaller by authorised means and therefore does not attend the signal box, the signaller must make the required entry in the train register and use reminder appliances as required. The signaller must confirm their actions to the train crew. The signaller must allow sufficient time for the fireman, guard or shunter to rejoin the train before the signal is cleared, unless the signal box is ahead of the signal, when the driver will proceed slowly towards the signal box to enable the member of the train to join the train. This is basically broken up into sections for ease, so you can see what your responsibilities are as a signaller or a driver or a guard or whatever. Do you think you're then Derek? I don't know what that means. Should a train be stopped by accident, failure, obstruction or other exceptional cause, all running lines affected must be protected and any necessary assistance summoned, including civil emergency services where required. When reporting an incident, all the following information must be given by the quickest possible means: the nature of the accident and line or lines obstructed, the exact location of the accident from where the report is being made and by whom, whether or not medical assistance, fire brigade and police are required. There should be no hesitation in summoning full civil emergency services in line with the NVR emergency plan, especially if the accident is being reported before it has been possible to find out exactly what damage or casualties have occurred. So it basically means if someone reports that a train has come off the line but can't give you any further details, you call the emergency services. Because it may be they're not necessary, but you don't want to delay getting them there if it is. I meant, like, do you think you are better than Derek? I don't know. I'm his creator, so I don't want to get into that. That all sounds a bit Davros. Where do babies come from? And yes, we can see it. See what? What can you see? I don't know. If Daleks are misbehaving, make them watch kids shows like Thomas or Coco Melon. Can anyone see this message? Yes, I can. Right. After the obstruction has been fully protected and the signaller and control have been advised of the accident and whether a medical assistance, etc. is required, the provision of a breakdown train, an assistant locomotive to move the train and or fitters to effect repairs must be arranged between the member of train crew and signaller and control. Control, referred to in Part E, means the duty operating supervisor. This is duties of train crew, which we've covered. Necessary. Yeah, this is about divided trains. Duties of train crew. Duties of signaller. Here we go. After carrying out the necessary protection arrangements, the signaller must immediately advise the operating manager and general manager or their representative in order to obtain any assistance required and to regulate traffic.
They must use the quickest means available to call medical and civil assistance where there is any likelihood that these will be required. So basically, if you've been told the train's derailed, it's rolled over, there's fire, anything like that, you should dial 999 and get the emergency services, even if you've not yet confirmed that they're required. If it's likely that there's going to be emergency services required, you need to summon them. Even if you can't give the full information at that time, you should summon them anyway. And it's better to stand down the emergency services if they're on their way than it is to delay and then go, oh yes, no, the train is on fire, we do need to call them 10 minutes further on from hearing about the incident. It's quicker to get them there and then go, sorry, our bad, we didn't need you. Yeah. Advice to drivers. After the obstruction has been moved, the signal must stop the next train required to pass over the affected line and advise the driver of the circumstances and instructs them to proceed cautiously over the portion of the line concerned. This is about the operating supervisor. Duty operating supervisor must ensure that all necessary emergency services have been called. They must make arrangements to get the firemen of the disabled train and single line staff recovered by road if necessary, so a breakdown train can be quickly sent to the scene. They must also make arrangements to call out the general manager, operating manager and health and safety officer. They must be ensured that a phone is manned to keep in touch with the emergency services. The duty operating supervisor must either appoint a responsible person to take charge at the scene or take charge in person after ensuring a reasonable person has taken charge at Wansford. Where do babies come from? A stork brings them. This is all operating supervisor stuff. Duties of all staff. Any fire, however small, on a moving train can spread rapidly. When discovered, must be extinguished promptly and completely. If the guard or any other member of staff is in doubt as to their ability to do this in a few seconds, the train must be stopped immediately. If detraining is necessary, all practicable steps must be taken to ensure the safety of the passengers, and guard must obtain assistance of both railway staff and passengers to meet the emergency. Protection by train crew of the line on which the train is standing may be left until the fire is extinguished and or all passengers are in a place of safety. When the fire has been extinguished, if the vehicle is fit to travel, a member of staff should, if possible, travel in the compartment affected, prepared to deal with any subsequent outbreak. Otherwise, the guard should examine.
Going on vacation. This skill is no longer available.
Computer off. Otherwise, the guard should examine the compartment concerned as frequently as possible. Whenever practicable, passengers should be transferred from the vehicle concerned. What else? Signaller must be advised. If there is a risk of fire spreading to other vehicles, the burning vehicles must be isolated as quickly as possible. The signaller must be advised of the circumstances, giving the location of the train as quickly as possible, and when necessary, the fire brigade called by the most expeditious means. Protection of the line when it becomes unsafe. How are we doing? I should probably wrap this up soon. Work can be carried out without protecting the line if the work will not obstruct the safety of affect the safety of the line or obstruct it, or will not cause anyone to come within 2 metres, 6 feet 6 inches of the nearest running rail of an open line, or can be carried out behind a tensioned or rigid barrier positioned 1.25 metres from the nearest running rail of an open line, or can be carried out under lookout protection and is not carried out in the hours of darkness, poor visibility, or within Wansford Tunnel. This is all about trackside engineering and temporary speed restrictions and the like. Duties of the signaller. The signaller, on receiving notification that the line is unsafe, must confirm the location and nature of the obstruction or defect, carry out the necessary protection arrangements in accordance with the train signalling regulations, and complete the train register. If possible, confirm the direction from which a train will approach to the person on site, and contact the general manager or deputy, the operations manager, I think that's meant to say, or deputy, or relevant departmental manager to arrange for the obstruction to be removed or the defect to be inspected/rectified. Withdrawal of protection. Protection must not be removed until any obstruction has been removed from the line, or any reported fault or defect has been repaired or inspected by a competent person and the line signed back into use at full line speed, or any reported fault or defect has been repaired and or inspected by a competent person, and an emergency speed restriction or temporary speed restriction put in place, and permission is granted by the signaller. The signaller, on receiving notification that protection of the line can be withdrawn, shall carry out the necessary arrangements in accordance with the train signalling regulations and complete the train register, and grant permission for the removal of any protection. Only a competent PICAL, person in charge of work, may arrange to block the line with the signaller. A block of the line can only be arranged if there are no works trains or on-track plant OTP involved, and the work will not disrupt the normal passage of trains. The signaller will not grant the line blockage to the PICAL until the portion of the line is clear of all trains, or when the PICAL and signaller can be sure that all trains have passed beyond the site of work. The signaller will tell the PICAL when the protecting signal has been placed at danger, confirm that it will remain at danger, and where required use reminder devices. The PICAL will then arrange to place any agreed additional protection. When the signaller and the PICAL are sure that all details on the PICAL's line blockage form are correct and all the arrangements have been carried out, the signaller will grant the line blockage to the PICAL. Once the line blockage has been granted, the PICAL must place a red flag or lamp in the forefoot, which is clearly visible to the driver of any approaching train on the approach to the site of work, if the work will affect the safety of any approaching train or a group is working. This must be done in both directions if the work is taking place on a single line where trains could approach from any direction. A PICAL going off duty must explain the details of the line blockage to the new PICAL and give them the line blockage form. The new PICAL must sign the line blockage form to show that they understand the arrangements. When the line blockage is given up or suspended, the PICAL must ensure the line is safe for the passage of trains and make sure that any work that is to continue does not need a line blockage, and remove any red flag or red light that has been placed in the forefoot, and remove any additional protection agreed with the signaller. The PICAL must then inform the signaller that the line blockage is no longer required or suspended. The signaller must note the time the line blockage was given back in the train register and remove any reminder devices. If the PICAL becomes aware that the line blockage cannot be given up or suspended at the planned time, they must inform the signaller, giving the reason why and the time they expect to give up or suspend the line blockage. When the line blockage is to resume after being suspended, the PICAL must carry out the process shown in section 38.3.2, recording agreed times on their line blockage form. Right, planning and possession. This is all about pre-planned engineering work and about PICOPs, person in charge of possession, things. Taking the possession. The signaller and the PICOP must agree the following: the line that will be taken under possession, the signals leading to possession that will be kept at danger, the details of any points or crossings that may be used for trains outside of the possession, the position that points within the possession must be placed in, and if they need to be clipped, the arrangements to be applied for each level crossing within the possession, and the exact location for any additional protection measures such as the possession limit board, and the time the possession is to be taken. When the section of the line concerned is clear, except where the possession is to be taken for the purposes of removing derailed vehicles or any other obstruction, all of the following must apply. You can watch this on playback at half speed. I'm kidding. Bye, Moo the dog. Nice to see you. I appreciate this is thoroughly dull, but I find it interesting. So, and I need to learn this for Sunday. I know all this. It's just pulling it out from the old brain is the problem. I panic during exams. I'm fine under all kinds of emergency pressure, like where lives are at stake, and any pressure like that. I just can't cope with exam situations. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. Because I know all this. It's pulling it from the old grey matter that I struggle with. But anyway, it's fine. Right. When the section of the line concerned is clear, except where the possession is to be taken for the purpose of removing derailed vehicles or other obstruction, all of the following must apply. The signaller must make sure that the signals agreed with the PICOP that will protect the possession have been placed to danger. The signaller must also make sure all points are in position necessary to protect the possession. The signaller must replace reminder appliances on the appropriate levers, switches or push buttons, including those applicable to the release of any ground frame which gives access to the blocked line. The signaller must arrange for the following signals to be placed to danger: all controlled signals or routes within the possession, and all other signals or routes which lead to or across the possession. A lot of the rulebook is basically saying use your reminder appliances and make sure you protect anything. That's the gist of it. Use the reminder appliances, sign stuff in the train register, make sure you're protecting the line. That's the gist, really. If any protecting signals are controlled by another signaller, the signaller in the controlling signal box must get confirmation from that signaller that the protecting signals are at danger and will be kept at danger until the possession is given up. The signaller must make the following entry into the train register. Section from A to B has been taken possession of by, insert name here, PICOP at, insert time here, hours. The entry will be countersigned by the PICOP. The signaller will inform the PICOP that work may commence and hand them the staff for the single line. The staff must remain in the possession of the PICOP until the PICOP is relieved by another PICOP or the possession of the line is relinquished. The PICOP will arrange for any additional protection measures, such as a possession limit board, to be placed and inform the signaller when this is done. When Wansford signal box is closed and an engineer's possession is obtained for the above section, Wansford to Warton Mere, signal 22 must be left in the off position, allowing movements from the possession up to signals 23 and 24. When Wansford signal box is reopened, signal 22 must immediately be put at danger. When signal 22 is at danger, movements from the possession must stop at this signal and carry out the provision of Part D, Rule 23. That's the bit about the train. Hang on a minute. I'll just remind myself. I think that's the bit about the crew going to the signal box, but let me just make sure I've got my sections right. Part D, detention of change on running line, section 23. Yes, Part D, Rule 23, duty of train crew and shunters, reminder to signallers. Yep, I'm not a moron, I know what I'm doing. Yay, right. When Wansford signal box... sorry, hold on. When Wansford signal box is being closed and the engineer still has possession, the signal must leave signal 22 in the off position. When Wansford signal box is closed and an engineer's position is obtained for the above section, Wansford to Yellow Junction, including the Wansford station platforms, signals 37 or 38 must be left in the off position, allowing movements from the possession into platform number 2 and 3, all 3. When Wansford signal box is reopened, signal 37 or 38 must immediately be put at danger, when as above, basically. When Alden Mere signal box is closed and the engineer's possession is obtained for the above section, Alden Mere to Peterborough station, Alden Mere signal box must be switched in and all signals placed at danger. Signal Alden Mere 11 must be left in the off position, allowing movements into from the possession into Alden Mere station. When Alden Mere signal box is reopened, the signaller must immediately place Alden Mere 11 signal to danger. When Alden Mere 11 is out of danger, movements from the possession must stop at the signal and carry out the provisions of Part D, Rule 23, etc. And the same from Alden Mere to Fletton Junction boundary gates. Alden Mere 12 must be left in the off position, replace the danger when the signal box is open, and replace the off position when the signal box closes. So far, so obvious. During the possession, this is about work sites. Movements onto a block line. When it's necessary for an engineer's train to proceed onto the block line from either end, the signaller concerned, after obtaining the permission of the PICOP, will instruct the driver to proceed cautiously into the section. The PICOP must authorise any movement onto the block line. They will ride on the locomotive or meet the train at the start of the possession and will inform the driver of any obstructions or danger to staff. The PICOP must authorise any movements on the blocked line. The PICOP must instruct the driver of each train or the machine controller of each item of the OTP to make each rail movement. The PICOP must give the exact location the movement is to proceed to. The PICOP must check that the driver or MC clearly understands the location of the movement to proceed to. And this is all about the PICOP. Movements in that little work site. Again, none of this really involves the signaller. Movement from a block line. The PICOP must not authorise a movement from the possession until they have the permission of the signaller concerned to do so. The PICOP going off duty must tell the new PICOP about the possession arrangements and tell the signaller the name and contact details of the new PICOP. The new PICOP should contact the ES and inform them of the change. Before giving up the possession, the PICOP must have received an assurance from all ESs that any OTP is off the track and clear of the running lines, and any WSMBs have been removed, and that the line is clear and fit for the passage of trains. That any work that is continuing does not require the possession of the line, and the PICOW is aware that traffic working is to be resumed. Once the PICOP is satisfied that the line is clear and fit for the passage of trains, they must advise the signaller at the signal box where the possession was obtained and hand the staff for any single line back to the signaller. The signaller must make and sign the entry in the train register as follows. Section from A to B is now clear and safe to run upon. Possession given up by person in charge of possession at time hours. The entry will be countersigned by the PICOP. The signaller must advise any other signaller and crossing keeper, where appointed, concerned with the possession that it has been given up. Emergency and temporary speed restrictions. Is there anything on here in terms of signallers? Yes, there is. The infrastructure faults that may affect the safety of the line must be protected by an appropriate emergency speed restriction as soon as possible. The person who discovers the fault must immediately notify the signaller or signallers if the fault is between two man boxes, stating the following. The nature of the fault, the speed limit required, the limits of speed restriction, using easily recognisable points such as signals points, bridge structures and level crossings. This may cover more distance than the actual fault. Hello, the traveller. Nice to see you. If a train approaches the fault before the signaller can be notified, or the signaller advises of a train in section during notification, if possible, the person discovering the fault must stop the train in improved methods such as displaying a red flag or holding both hands above their head. Once the train is at a halt, the driver must be advised of the speed restriction over the fault and allowed to proceed. This is the bit I need to know. The signaller must make an entry in the train register. I mean, I need to know it all, I should clarify, but this is the bit that's pertinent to what the signaller has to do. The signaller must make an entry in the train register noting the speed and limits of the restriction plus time imposed, and inform train crews by the fastest appropriate method giving the speed and limits of restrictions. This is all about what train drivers can do. Where work to rectify the fault can be carried out satisfactorily on the same day or before the next scheduled running day, the person completing the work must notify the signaller that the line is fit for full line speed and the ESR removed, and the signaller must cancel the entry in the train register and notify train crews by the most appropriate method. This is all about track and bridges managers and temporary speed restrictions. Here we are. Pre-planned TSRs will be published in the operating notice, and this shows what that will detail. Unplanned TSRs, such as one example from the ESR, will be notified to signallers and train crews by a special amendment to the operating notice, and again that lists what it will state. TSR will be published in the next operating notice unless it has been withdrawn by the date of publication. And it talks about speed indication being given and a directional arrow and so on and so forth. Level crossings and the passage of vehicles, that's about train crews. Signalling during fog or falling snow. I like this bit. The signaller must ensure that the signal wires work freely and that all signals are showing the correct aspect. All staff must inform the signaller immediately of any irregularity in the working of signals. During severe frost or falling snow, the signaller must, when the section is clear and no train has been signalled, frequently work signals, points, locks and bars to prevent the working of such apparatus being impeded. This is about guards and drivers' responsibilities. Fixed signals. Fixed signals govern the passage of trains, prevent conflicting movements, and in some cases give an indication as to route. Distant signals, stop signals, and subsidiary signals placed under stop signals only apply to trains travelling in the direction the signal faces. Fixed signals consist of distant signals, stop signals, home signals, and shunting signals. Fixed signals, as far as practicable, are placed as to indicate by their position the lines to which they apply. Controlled signals are operated from a signal box or in some cases a ground frame. A train standing at a signal is said to be in the rear of it, and having passed it is said to be in advance of it. Semaphore distance and stop signals are of two position types as follows, and then there's a diagram at the bottom there talking about your lower quadrant and your upper quadrant. You've got your home and your distance signal there. And the home is the red one, the distance is the yellow one with the fishtail. With me so far. There we go. Right. Stop signals consist of a red arm with a square end and a vertical white stripe. The day and night indications are arm in horizontal position or red light to stop, arm raised or lowered 45 degrees, and a green light for clear. Distance signals are placed at some distance to the rear of stop signals to which they apply and provide a warning of the approach of a stop signal, consisting of a yellow arm with a fishtail end and a black chevron. The day and night indications are as above, except at night it's a yellow light for caution and a green light for clear. They're basically indicating what the next stop signal is trying to say. Shunting signals consist of a red arm on a white disc or a yellow arm on a white disc. Shunting signals govern the passage of a train from a siding to a running line, from a running line to a siding, between one running line and another, and control shunting operations. When cleared, shunting signals authorise the driver to proceed as far as the line is clear, but not to pass any signal at danger. Shunting signals showing a yellow arm or light may be passed without being cleared for movements in a direction for which the signal, when cleared, does not apply. A limit of shunt indicator consists of a frame fixed to a post with the words limit of shunt in red letters on a white background. That basically means that if you're shunting, you can only go that far, otherwise you need the section stuff. Subsidiary signals. These are positioned below stop signals and consist of a small red semaphore arm with a white square end and a vertical white stripe. A shunting signal placed under a stop signal is also referred to as a subsidiary signal. When cleared, subsidiary signals authorise the driver to proceed as far as the line is clear, but not to pass any signal at danger. Where reference is made to signals satisfying themselves that the signal is at danger, this must include satisfying themselves that the lamp is alight. Except when authorised, the signaller must not clear a subsidiary signal for a train to enter an occupied section until the train has been brought to a stand at the signal. When, after a shunting movement has been made on the authority of a subsidiary signal, the movement returns in rear of the stop signal, or the locomotive or locomotive with vehicles returns to the rear portion of the train and is in the rear of the stop signal, the signaller must, when they are in a position to allow the train to proceed on its journey, clear the stop signal. That was a bit of a mouthful. Yeah. Signaller must replace a stop signal to danger immediately the last vehicle of a train has passed it. If a train is brought to a stand with its rear portion in rear of a stop signal, the signaller must place that signal to danger. When a signaller has cleared a stop signal for the train to proceed, they must not, except in case of an emergency, replace the signal to danger until the train has passed it or has come to a stand. And then the next bit is all about communicating with drivers at signal boxes and movements into sidings and so on and so forth. It is a very wordy book, this, and I appreciate it's exceedingly dull. And I thank you for indulging me for a few minutes so I could brush up on my rulebook knowledge. Yeah. I am terrified about my exam. I know all this. I know because I passed the exam to become a guard. So a lot of it is crossover. There's a few bits that are specific to signalling, but you know most of it I already know. So I don't know why I'm so scared. But I just don't cope well with exam situations. So I'm fretting is the takeaway from this. Anyway, let's call it a night, folks. I'm sure you're bored of me anyway. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this strange stream. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it? Yeah, not sure. Yeah, not sure what that was all about, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Not sure what I'm doing next week yet. I've got to find time to actually go and do it, but this week is all about rulebook prep, so I will probably do something on Tuesday evening to decide what I'm doing. It might be over on the gaming channel, or I might do something over here. I haven't decided. But anyway, thanks very much for joining me. I will see you again, if not next week, then very soon. Have a good week, and good night. Much love, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye!